it's better when someone tells you we're hungry but we're hungry together, you know. Then just being someone telling you that uko njaa na huko umekaa tu mtu anakula indomie huko hapo tu. So telling that tumenjaa but checky, let's just walk until here, we'll see how we'll sort this out.
There's the life that you, rather the situations of life that hit you, you ultimately will face that final decision of, I can't go ahead with this. It's either I do this on the side, completely on the side, and focus on a career that is actually bringing something to the pocket.
Men are more willing to risk take and navigate the rough waters, even if it means someone will do something just to make sure he keeps his stuff going. He might do it, but I don't think I've seen or at least heard of any ladies going to do the skimpy stuff just to make sure things are working.
As the industry continue opening up, I think many ladies will keep on drawing towards this, I think.
Yeah, once there's some level of stability.
Yes.
Because it's shaky, and I agree with that somebody who is saying that when somebody is alone, it's a lonely path. There's no industry in Kenya. It's somewhat true.
So I think the animation industry is big, but now we have to be creative on how to use it. And that's the thing. We have just to navigate. We're not just stuck into one side. We're like, let's do documentaries, let's do this, let's do that. We have to come up with ways just to keep it alive and going until the next generation finds it.
Yeah.
Because in 10, 20 years time we'll be too old to continue the same day. So the guys who are coming up will be like, there's a foundation that was put in. Not big, but there was a foundation. Can we grow with that foundation? Can we open our brains and think of more ways to use it? That's just it. On that note, I remember you saying something really interesting. You said that most of the time when 3D artists tunapatananga say a project tuna disband. So the aim of this project is to, whenever we're not doing any other work, what are we doing? Most of the time nakwanga nothing. Because we're waiting for the next paycheck, right? So the whole project Artelier discussed now, Bill and the rest was like, we can still do in return whenever we're not doing anything else. It's like our baby. Let's not put it like a side project we care about. Yeah, so it was just that simple. Also, we worked with Abdi, shout out to Abdi and Koch Films, right? Yeah, we released a small short, Madu Jetoka, so this is a spoil. Remember to Goje. So yeah, we were waiting on that. It could release just something short, and in fact, it was a struggle reaching there because that time when we were producing it is when also my machine broke down.
Struggles.
Everyone was waiting for us like, Brett, the project iko happy. It's been a month, where is the project? I finally tulimaliza. It was a lot. Plus I was being pushed to learn Blender. It was a very interesting journey, just tweaking and stuff, and we got really results, which also inspired the art style for Artelier and Rita. So with that, so you see, you learn this, then you apply it to something else. So I was like, Bill, let's apply this art style to it, and Bill was like, it looks good. We can do this. Well, it took time to look for that method. It looks easy, but it took months for me just to be like, let me create a pipeline that if I create it, if I share it with anyone else, I don't have to struggle. So that was the struggle for me on my end. So finally when I did it, it was that relief. I was like, nakutupia unawezea tu juu and you're done. Yeah, that was just the deal. Yeah, so like you said, those are the stories we're doing. We're trying to do less commercial. We're not discluding project ikuje, but we're also looking at what can we do for ourselves. Like just a baby that you have with just nature. Just a small show, friendly, and then toka hapo ikitupeleka pale tupeleke ikikosa. We did it. We had to kukaa chini to regrets after 10 years. Like, manze kwa nini tulegele project kwa shelf? We don't want that. We want, let's do it. Iki backfire. Kiende, yeah. And then we still have 1,000 projects in our head. So let's just start with one to enable it at Peleka. Yeah.
I like how you guys have focused on collaboration. Because most people I've talked to wamesema collaboration is hiyo ndio inapeleka watu mbele. Without that utakuwa tu peke yako. And I think most companies pia they came up from collaboration. So unakuta you have one skill, uko na skill nyingine. Because utakuta the people you want it all for yourself, so ukipata job utajifundisha skill ya mtu mwingine instead of mshikane na huyu mfanye the same job, which I think it build more impact than you doing it by yourself.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think collaboration goes a long way. So you guys, how do you motivate each other? Juna animation nayo inaweza kuwa draining, so how do you maintain that collaboration? Mna motivatiana aje?
Checkups. We check up on each other. I think that's
true.
That's true. That's true. Because like not like even there's a time I even told Kinabil and the rest. Maybe there's a point like this year on atunki quick. Kinabil that was almost January. Bill na Philip Kinabil tulia. Wewe chapa blend hapo. Then tutajua mwaka ikiisha. I was like, okay, let's because like checkups because sometimes it doesn't drain. Mostly if there's no income into it, mostly if you don't get recognized of your work, it becomes draining sana. So I think need checkups, and the other thing for me is tutorials. Like I just like even one idea always have. I don't need to know what's the whole thing that is happening, the technical side of it. But if I watch tutorial and I have that thing in my mentor, like Naikumbuka there's an idea of that and I can do that. Anytime Kinabil on me, whatever I do, I'm like, I know how to do that. Niliona tutorial pale wouldn't put in like 10 minutes na itafuta. So for me it's just checkups, always try as much as possible. Tunaangalia na tunapigia best time like yo uko everything's good. Even like you just want something, it really helps. Na mwingine hapana tu strength from that like Brenton is doing it. Well, second competitions those zinasaidianga tuko like I think we were competing with Void. Tuko napata tatu internal challenge like tunafanya ya gari tunayapata kuwa. So unapata stuff like that. Yes, it's draining, but you're like Void challenged us to do this, let's do it, tuifanye unacheki. Out of that talk like let me just do one more project and then let me do another project. By the time working nature like guys like 20 projects that he did, yet he was about just to quit. So I think tutorials for me mostly from the guys who I really like, challenges and just checkups. With that I think many push to I am kama sivyo unaniona nikigonga pale tu kwa ofisi sasa.
Yeah, I mean, for me, animation is an internal motivation. It's an intrinsic motivator. So it's not something that I'm looking to grow at the riches or something from. The fulfillment comes from being able to do it. So for me, I think one thing that motivates me a lot is I want to see where this goes. Because for me, I told myself, this is what I'd rather... hii kinipeleka to the deathbed ni sawa, ni sawa, if this is all I did and it took me there, I've lived enough. To me that's the intrinsic motivation that comes from me. It's not that I need a Ferrari nini. To me this thing, as long as I'm breathing, I want to do it. So that becomes a motivator. But I think generally it's mostly just checking up and also having just talks about the problems, what's ailing, because sometimes you're in this, it feels like you're on an island. It's only you who understands what you actually want to do, no one else. And that really came to light when I started talking, when I met my friends even last week, my Form 4 friends, is that you tend to meet them, then when you talk about animation they know nothing. So it brings to the light that it's only you and you alone who understands this mission,
Speaking French.
So I think being able to discuss, so how are you going to make money out of this? What have you learned this week? At least it makes you sure that, you face this, we learn this, we're on the hurdle together, It's better when someone tells you, we're hungry, but we're hungry together, Then just being someone telling you that, uko njaa na huko umekaa tu mtu anakula indomie huko hapo tu. So telling that tumenjaa but cheki, let's just walk until here, we'll see how we'll sort this out.
Well, I think is being able to see the bigger picture, being able to see the vision. You might say that it's fake cooperating, but again I think we've all agreed on that you just need to start. And I think motivation can be that we see where we want to go, we are not yet there. And I think the question is, how do we motivate each other? I think for me, in the past few months have been hard for me because I lost my mom, and I think my guys were there for me. You know, the Bill would call to check on me. We'd jump on a call and this guy would be like, Louis, whenever you need anything, just let us know, right? And I think it's a lonely journey.
It's true.
It's a lonely journey. Like sometimes I close myself in my room because I work from my workstation is just on my room. People don't understand why I close myself for hours and hours and hours in there. Whereby like you seems like you are like a zombie. Like people ask, are you okay? Are you depressed right now? Like seriously, how are you doing? Right? And I think having people who can check on you regularly and looking at where you are going, really. I'm not there, but again, looking at it, being able to project, I think that really, for me, keeps me going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Catching up with each other, definitely. We all need to, because of the nature of the work, it's quite a lot of work to just create stuff without anything coming in returns. So definitely have to talk with a team, talk with people, even family, friends, just to catch up. And I also want to add on to what Lewis is saying. This is a bigger picture that for me is also a motivating factor. There's a huge opportunity that it's right in front of everyone as an artist or as creators, storytellers. And the opportunity to create like jobs, for example. The opportunity for guys to learn their craft and the opportunity to also impact people with the stories that you create. These are one of the many things that motivate me, because if it's not for us to make something like the animation industry happen, who will come? Who else will come?
Take the mantle.
Yeah, so that's what also keeps me going. Is like, there's someone ahead of us who will definitely want to come in. For example, the students that Jeremy went to meet at Kenya High, so in Form 3, Form 4, talking about all these things. But what happens when they get out there? You see, they might not find something, but we want to make that place a possibility, and that's why we're all focused on now collaborating, because it definitely will get there through collaborations. It's gonna be very tough. It's still very tough, but tutaweza tu. Yeah, and partnering also with guys like from A3K, just as I mentioned, having like some kind of a event. All of these things want to all come together and make this thing a possibility. Yeah, I don't know about how government will help.
Kenya Kwanza.
Even with the new policies and bills that they've created around, the creative policy. I've been doing my research. They've released, I think, the creative policy bill, creative policies 2024, and there's a bill and all of these things. But you see, let's just do it on our own.
Yeah,
let's work on this. Let's motivate each other to actually create something that people can get into. And once it's there, I guess we'll see how it goes.
Like coming somewhere like this.
Yeah.
This is a motivation. Bill texted me the other day and telling me, like, what, Louis, we are invited at a Creative Scene podcast, and I was like, yay, I'm excited, right? Because I think we have a story, and I think we'll be able to look back. Today we might not be proficient. It's not that we don't know. Again, I'm not taking anything away from what we are talking about here, but again, we'll be able to look at this conversation and be like, you know what, we've really
grown.
Yeah, we've really moved a step, and I think that is a motivation factor as well. Being able to come and share our story. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's glad that you're all feeling that way. Well, for me, I came to see the need of having someone who motivates you, because the way you said, it's a lonely road sometimes, so najikutanga uko peke yako. So having someone who motivates you or gives you challenges, una feel unataka kuchangamka, you don't want to let the other person down, so if it's you guys as a team, you don't want to be the one unashukisha team chini, so you have to pull up your socks kidogo.
And our I don't want to speak big, our dreams are big. See, we are a bunch of guys. It's a low limit. I mean, the thing is, as we speak, if you're willing to, no, if you're not willing, you can sponsor us, find a space. We don't have a space. Seriously. And I think that has really, we've seen the negative side of that, whereby a client would ask you, so I'm giving you this much, where will I find you? Where are you guys? And then like you're in a Zoom call with a client, and then somebody comes, Louis! Like, you understand? Because we don't have like a center, we don't have like a hub where, and we are looking forward to this, because when you're talking about Void Artelier and Wide Eyed, we're looking at a center whereby we can not only come and work, we want to be able to work with schools also, whereby students would come and really, because there's a big gap. Recently, Bill was telling me something, is working, these guys from which school? The guys that you're working with to, work with on Blender and whatnot.
The interns.
The guys that
the intern guys.
Yeah.
We got them just from various universities, MMU and other schools.
Yeah, and you figure out that there's a big gap. Like, these are guys that are supposed to come and tap and come and reinforce the workload, but again, really they're coming in as students. So I think that is one thing that we're looking forward to, whereby we can find a center spot whereby we can come and just really exchange ideas and work on the projects that we like, tell the stories that we want to tell. Yeah.
And where do you think the animation industry is heading? Do you think there's growth for us, or what do you think about that?
Well, someone has to lead the way, Cindy. And that's I think we came to that conclusion with Lewis just, is it some months ago? About the need to have a leading front. I'm still very optimistic about Ukombele vile kutakuwa. I'm very sure that productions Ukombele will be they'll be fire. And someone needs to, apart from Nakina Fat Boy and all those guys, other people also need to come in and complement that hii kitu inaendelea and it's going this direction. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be amazing huko mbele.
Like Bill is saying, like, there are always stories to tell. And if kama kuna story, there is a way for an animation to prevail. And you can even use because there's a time we were speaking with Abdi from Koch Films, just telling like, this potential is meant for documentaries, whereby some people are shy. Can we create an animation about that, what people went through? There's always, so I think the animation industry is big, but now we have to be creative on how to use it. So that's the thing. We have just to navigate. We're not just stuck into one side. We're like, let's do documentaries, let's do this, let's do that. Like, we have to come up with ways just to keep it alive and going until the next generation finds it. Because in 10, 20 years time we'll be too old to continue this industry. So the guys who are coming up will be like, there's a foundation that was put in. Not big, but there was a foundation. Can we grow with that foundation? Can we open our brains and think of more ways to use it? That's just it. Yeah, it's the animation industry is there, but it's growing. That's it. It's not like the US. Not the US. It's built in Japan. It's already built. It's there. You find it everywhere. It runs the economy. Like you've seen animated films in Africa, $1 billion USD in terms of gross profit. So it's there, but now we have to lead the way. We have to build it, take inspiration, and tell stories as much as we can. Yeah.
I think where things are headed, I think generally, like you said, it's just a just do it kind of thing, because everyone's just trying. There's no big place that's been set up for you to actually just form it, and being able to have that eye for what we are seeing ahead of us helps us being able to create what needs to be there, and like I said, when I saw those students at Kenya High, you can see the passion is there. The person wants to really do this, you know. You tell them, hey, math, they don't want to hear about maths, they don't want to hear about you know, they just want to do that thing. And you look at this kid is just someone who really wants to do it. And it would be heartbreaking for them to just come out and then find everything just flat, you know. So I feel like it's a time for everyone to just hold arms. You can't do it solo. That one is for sure. You know, we'll all just have to come up, put all our stuff together, and be able to put at least something as a front. Because it's not like we're at anywhere. We aren't making any profits as an industry. You know, if we had profits as an industry, like we've made 3-4 films that have done something in the internal market, not even uko nje. Let's say internal market. Let's say we've had screenings at, you know, Sky Cinema, whatever those ninis are, all the theaters. If we had screenings at those people, then that makes sense. And I think that's what people want to see. I think at least the government, the people who just want to know about the numbers, you know. If they saw that as generating the economy, then now that starts to grow. But it has to start from somewhere. So I think generally it just has to be a collaborative effort. We just hold hand and say, you know what, there's no bridge here, but we'll just have to make it with whatever's there. And then we cross, yeah.
Well, the question was, is there hope for us? Yeah, I think there is. Yeah, the industry is very young, and if I hear people here, people want to do stuff. You know, I mean, we are not the people that are going to blame the government for not doing X, Y, Z. Then I think we're just going to continue walking that journey. But is there hope for animation in Kenya and as an industry at large? Yes, like there's noise, AI and sound. Yeah, there's noise and there's many things, but for sure there is hope. I mean, like, not only hope, there's opportunities, and I think it comes from us building those opportunities, being the forerunners. Rather, there are people who have already gone ahead of us. I've heard people talking about, like, Aaron Blaze. These people have done amazing in the industry, right? How about Deza Lewis, right? It's not the end for us as an industry or as a people who have an interest in, in a medium called animation. If there's hope for film feature, like point and shoot, there's hope for animation. As much as there's no. I grew up watching animation. I grew up watching animation. You can't tell me that is just coming to an end. And I think there's more to what we've seen. There's more to come.
Yeah. Definitely. Now, one last question, then we close it up.
Yeah.
So, Wide Eyed Studios, you mentioned there's only one lady within you guys. Hapa kuna any lady? There isn't any lady. My workplace, our department, I'm the only lady there. So I was having a conversation with a few guys, and I wanted to understand the gender balance within the creative industry, because even when you check my podcasts, most guests I've hosted are male. Kupata female creatives, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there. So what do you guys think about the gender balance?
I think I have an idea, and it falls to, I think we talked about this with Jeremy, and it comes to a place where you can't continue to struggle anymore, and you might need, or you're facing some kind of peer pressure from, maybe friends, they're kind of doing that thing, and you're here struggling with animation with a bunch of guys. That whole struggle bit of it, I think, is what could be a challenge. So then what happens is they fall out and pursue maybe some other kind of career. That's what I think. I don't want to say it's final, but I think that's what it is. It's about now the situations of life starts to hit you, and now you have to cope with that, or you have to adjust your environment to fit that. as opposed to us guys tunanangana mazee, we just because I don't know,
I get you.
it's just that struggle that is ahead of us, and there's the life that you, rather the situations of life that hit you, you ultimately will face that final decision of, I can't go ahead with this. It's either I do this on the side, completely on the side, and focus on a career that is actually bringing something to the pocket. That's what I think is the issue. Yeah.
That's a great insight.
For me, I would say same thing, but also animation isn't easy. This thing kills your social life. It kills it. And because the amount of hours you need to practice is no joke. Then plus also remember the industry in Kenya, I would speak, I don't know outside, but in Kenya, we're still making the foundation. Imagine kwanza kuambia deme kwanza plan computer parts. You lose interest in the first week. Like mwambie cable yako imeharibika, wacha kupelekea fundi nini kitu ya dhao unaweza replacement. It becomes like most of them are not interested in the tech side. I'm not saying most women are, but just we have to learn the skills, we have to learn the software, so also learn the tech. So it becomes a lot, and then add the challenge on top, and there's no foundation. So you find that most women out there, like Antonina still does design, she's really good at it, but keeping up with all that pace, and also for us when we check up on each other, like like there are a few ladies that deal with design. So before moja kupiga kwambie kwaje uko poa, you doing good, it's like, but for me I know Bill, I'll call Bill anytime. Andikwe saa 6 usiku anachukua pige demo yenyewe saa 6 usiku bia nishi mageza kumuza na kubora mwenda kupiga usiku saa hiyo. But I think it's just a challenge, but I think if now we lay down the foundation and everything set, by the time the next generation is coming, they'll find it much easier, and it will be easy for them just to enter the industry because watakuwa na the same struggles. And kama watakuwa na we are there, they can just call us and be like, yo Bill, I'm going through this and this, can you assist me? We have the answers. I just said hakuwa na mtu wa kupigia. It was you and the sun mkitembea tu mkipatana. So I think just the foundation. Even still, there are some young guys I know that they want to pursue this, but it's hard because it's not easy. Kama una like if you're a one man army, it's hard. Me, I had Philip before I met this guys. I had Anthony who used to motivate us. Now something may grow. Now we are more. But so ukikuwa peke yako, becomes really, really hard just to do it. So it's just finding people or finding a community, then motivating each other. I think the minute you find that, it becomes easy and easy. And by the time 5 years umepita, pata mademo meje become what is this mabonde tutafukuza kwa industry. Yeah, so we just need to give them time, show them the way, lead it, and then tutafika.
Okay.
I think generally from what I've seen, most of them would end up in roles such as teaching, at least from what I understand. You'd rarely see most of them staying within that path and going with it. I think this could be a hypothetical, anecdotal point, but I think ladies are more concerned with security in terms of the financial aspect, and men are more risk takers because there's not much for a guy to lose in terms of, even if they lived in a shanty house, a guy would survive. But for a lady living in a shanty house is, something really hard. So that's just anecdotal. But generally, I think it's that aspect of the struggle. I think enough this aspect of the struggle plus also peer pressure. At some point, if you're not living the soft life or lavish life, what it could be, it starts creeping onto you. And you feel like, let me go somewhere so that at least I'm acknowledged and something of the sort. But generally, I don't think, as in Kenya, you can't really say there's that thing for men are paid more, ladies are not concluded in roles and everything. Because we haven't really established much in terms of the industry as a whole. But I think in general, if you're just talking about it, I think it's more about a social issue than it is an economical issue. Because you'll find things like, the simple struggles, like you reach somewhere at a certain point, people wonder what you're doing, do something with your life, and the other, concerns, maybe the mental health and everything like that. But generally, that's what I'd say. I think men are more willing to risk take and navigate the rough waters, even if it means someone will do something just to make sure he keeps his stuff going, he might do it. But I don't think I've seen, or at least heard of, and it is going to do the skimpy stuff just to make sure things are working. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think if we continue chatting the course, we'll make a path for, because Jeremy amesema it's true. Well, I haven't sat down and really thought about it. Now that I'm thinking about it. But you see, the thing is, I go to convention. Like the other time, I was in Otumatsuri, movie Java, and to my surprise, I could see ladies. Like, you want to tell me these people know that this is a career? Oh, like, what is the question here? You want to tell me all of these ladies on cosplays and da da da? I'm not saying that probably they don't have other careers that they're pursuing, but again, for me, I wanted to become an animator because I wanted to make the things that I watched growing up, right? Like, I'm a cosplayer because I want to feel like how that character is feeling, perhaps. Like, can I be the one making these things, right? Yeah. So I think the thing here is, as the industry continue opening up, I think many ladies will keep on drawing towards this. I think. Yeah.
Once there's some level of stability.
Yes.
Because it's shaky. Like, and I agree with that somebody who is saying that when somebody is alone, it's a lonely path. There's no industry in Kenya. It's somewhat true. Like, because you can count. What do you see on animation TVs in Kenya? There's nothing, right? And so, you'll point Fat Boy, and then you'll point me at their social medias, which is not much, right? Another thing that you'll point to me is Terrastorm. If you go to the cast, there's no lady there. There's just one person animating something in Unreal. I'm just saying, animation is a team sport. Come on, right? Yeah. So.
Well, I was talking to Ernest. He's a lecturer at ADMI, and he was telling me the gender balance there is kind of equal. So I think maybe after Wametoka, then they probably face challenges.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Once they face these challenges, that's when now they start falling out.
I think for Shanto it was opposite. Hey, we were a lot of dudes. If I had a dude of like a class of 20, like 3 girls, 3 women. It's in 4. I think for Shanto it's different, but the number as I left, the number continued growing, because each and every time we left a class, you find like now 6 girls in this class, like 7 girls. The inspiration is great, but it also needs a push. That's all part of the void and why the studio is like, we're doing that push just to bring in more people. The more we are, the more we can do. We can do feature films, we can do what, put them there. We get profits and stuff, and now we move to the next level. Yeah.
Yo, that has been an amazing conversation. Sana. Najua mmefurahi yani.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, so it was great having you guys here and even just sparing the time to come here and to share your insights. It's been amazing. I still have so many questions in mind, but due to time, so we'll probably hold another event, another session for this. Yeah. Awesome. That has been it from the Creative Collab. This has been Season 2, Episode 6. See you next time. Good morning, good evening, and good night.